Our planet, in its ceaseless, silent dance around the sun, performs a subtle tilt. This simple inclination of its axis is the architect of our seasons, the giver of light and the bringer of shadow. For most of us, this results in a familiar, comforting rhythm. The sun rises, the sun sets. A cycle so ingrained in our existence that we seldom pause to consider a world where it might be otherwise. But what if I told you there are places on our Earth where this fundamental pattern is broken? Places where the sun refuses to dip below the horizon for months on end, bathing the landscape in an ethereal perpetual daylight. Imagine a world painted in the golden hues of a sunset that never ends, or a landscape plunged into a profound star-dusted darkness that lasts not for a night, but for an entire season. These are not scenes from another world, but realities for communities living at the extreme northern and southern reaches of our globe. Here, in the lands of the midnight sun and the polar night, life has adapted in the most extraordinary ways. The relationship between living things and the light is altered, creating unique cultures, behaviors, and natural spectacles that are simply astonishing. Join me as we journey to these remarkable corners of our world. We will travel to 9 such places, from the vibrant Arctic communities of the north to the stark frozen wilderness of the south. We will witness the sun circling the sky without setting and discover the profound beauty hidden within the long dark winter. This is a story of our planet's extremes, a testament to the resilience of life and an exploration of the incredible phenomena that occur where the sun either never sets or, for a time, never rises. Our journey begins far north of the Arctic Circle, in the Norwegian city of Tromsø. From late May to late July, this vibrant city is bathed in a light that seems to defy time itself. The sun, having reached its zenith, begins a slow, graceful arc across the sky. But instead of disappearing, it merely kisses the horizon before beginning its ascent once more. This is the midnight sun, a phenomenon that transforms the very fabric of life. The distinction between day and night dissolves, and a gentle, continuous energy pervades the city and its surrounding fjords and mountains. People here have learned to live with this endless light, their internal clocks recalibrating to a different rhythm. When the Earth's tilt swings the other way, Tromsø is plunged into an equally profound yet opposite state. From late November to mid-January, the sun does not rise at all. This is the polar night or mørketid. It is not, however, a period of absolute blackness. For a few hours around noon, a soft, ethereal twilight washes over the frozen landscape, casting the snow-covered peaks in shades of deep blue, violet and rose. It is a time for quiet reflection, for cozy gatherings, and for witnessing another celestial marvel, the dancing, shimmering veils of the aurora borealis, which find their most brilliant stage in the deep darkness of the polar night. Now, we venture further north still, to the remote archipelago of Svalbard, a wilderness of ice and rock halfway between mainland Norway and the North Pole. Here, the extremes are even more pronounced. In its capital, Longyearbyen, the sun remains continuously above the horizon for an astonishing 4 months, from late April to late August. The endless daylight reveals the stark grandeur of the landscape in unforgiving detail, the sprawling glaciers, the jagged peaks, the vast silent tundra. For the wildlife, like the mighty polar bear, it is a time of relentless activity, a crucial period for hunting on the sea ice before it retreats. The subsequent polar night is just as long and even more profound. For over 100 days, from late October to mid-February, the sun is entirely absent. The darkness is near total, a deep, velvety blackness punctuated only by the moon, the stars, and the spectral glow of the aurora. Human life adapts in remarkable ways. Homes are filled with warm light, social life moves indoors, and a unique sense of community blossoms in the shared experience of the long night. It is a powerful reminder of our planet's orbital mechanics, a place where the seasons are not just changes in weather, but fundamental shifts between a world of light and a world of darkness. Our next destination lies just below the Arctic Circle, the island nation of Iceland. While it doesn't experience the true midnight sun or polar night in the same way as its more northerly neighbors, its high latitude creates a unique and beautiful interplay of light and shadow. In summer, particularly in northern towns like Ísafjörður, the sun sets very late and rises very early. The period between sunset and sunrise is not darkness, but a prolonged magical twilight. For hours, the sky is painted with the soft, lingering colors of a sunset that refuses to fade, merging seamlessly into the gentle hues of dawn. In the depths of winter, the opposite is true. The days are fleeting, with the sun making only a brief low arc across the sky. In Reykjavik, daylight might last for just 4 or 5 hours. This scarcity of light transforms the landscape. The low winter sun casts long, dramatic shadows across the snow and ice, and the world is enveloped in a soft, diffused glow. This extended twilight, both in summer and winter, gives Iceland an otherworldly quality. It is a land where the boundaries of day and night are blurred, creating a dreamlike atmosphere that has inspired sagas and folklore for centuries. We cross the Atlantic to the vast wild territories of Nunavut in Canada's high Arctic. In communities like Iqaluit and even further north, Arctic Bay, the rhythm of life is dictated by the sun's extreme behavior. During the summer, the midnight sun brings with it a season of celebration and activity. With 24 hours of daylight, the land is alive. People go fishing, hunting, and boating at all hours, making the most of the brief, bountiful summer. Children's laughter can be heard echoing across the tundra late into what would elsewhere be called night. It is a time of connection to the land, a renewal of ancient traditions under a sun that never rests. Then comes the long, deep winter. The sun disappears completely, and the polar night descends. But this darkness is not empty. It is a vital part of the Arctic's character. The landscape, blanketed in snow and ice, reflects the faint light from the moon and stars, creating a surprisingly luminous world of silver and grey. It is a time for storytelling, for community gatherings, and for the intricate art of Inuit craft-making to flourish indoors. The polar night here is not an ending, but a different kind of beginning. A test of resilience and a testament to the deep cultural knowledge that allows life to thrive in one of the world's most challenging environments. Our journey takes us to the very northern tip of Alaska, to the town of Utqiagvik, formerly known as Barrow. This is the northernmost community in the United States, and it experiences the solar extremes in a profound way. For about 80 days in summer, from May to August, the sun performs a continuous lazy circle in the sky. The community bursts into life, with traditional Inupiat whaling festivals, Nalukatak, taking place on the shores of the Chukchi Sea. The endless daylight provides the energy and opportunity for these vital subsistence activities that have sustained the Inupiat people for millennia. It's a time of immense cultural and social importance. Then, around mid-November, the sun sets for the last time that year, and it will not be seen again for approximately 65 days. The polar night in Utqiagvik is a stark and beautiful reality. The community adapts, with life moving indoors and the town glowing warmly against the vast, dark expanse of the Arctic tundra. This period of darkness is not seen as a hardship, but as a natural and essential part of the year's cycle. It is a time for family, for passing down stories, and for appreciating the subtle beauty of a world lit by the cosmos, a world waiting patiently for the sun's eventual, celebrated return. We travel now to Finnish Lapland, to the city of Rovaniemi, which sits right on the Arctic Circle. In this magical region, the phenomena of light and dark take on a fairy tale quality. During the height of summer, the midnight sun, or Jotunjo, casts a golden, dreamlike glow over the vast forests and countless lakes. The Finns embrace this period with gusto. It's a time for cottage life, for saunas followed by midnight swims, for music festivals that play through the bright night. The non-stop daylight seems to infuse the very air with a sense of limitless possibility and serene energy, blurring the lines between one day and the next. As winter arrives, Rovaniemi transforms into a world of enchanting darkness. The polar night, known here as Kaamos, settles over Lapland. While the sun remains below the horizon, the landscape is often covered in a thick blanket of pure white snow, which reflects the moonlight and starlight, as well as the pastel hues of the polar twilight. This creates a mystical, blue-tinged world that feels quiet and sacred. It is during this deep darkness that the northern lights are at their most spectacular, and the atmosphere is one of cozy warmth, with candles lit, fires burning, and the legendary home of Santa Claus bustling with festive spirit. Our travels take us to the largest city north of the Arctic Circle, the Russian port of Murmansk. Here, the extremes of light and dark are experienced on a metropolitan scale. For 2 months in summer, the city never sees a sunset. The midnight sun shines down on the bustling port and the Soviet-era architecture, creating a surreal juxtaposition of industrial might and ethereal, unending light. The city's inhabitants adapt to this polar day, with parks and public spaces remaining active late into the night. It's a time of strange energy where the normal routines of a large city are stretched and distorted by the constant daylight. The polar night in Murmansk is equally impressive, lasting for around 40 days. The city, home to over 250,000 people, refuses to be subdued by the darkness. Instead, it fights back with a blaze of artificial light. Streets, buildings, and monuments are brightly illuminated, creating an oasis of light in the vast Arctic darkness. Cultural life thrives, with theaters, museums, and concert halls providing warmth and entertainment. The people of Murmansk have not just adapted to the polar night, they've defied it, creating a vibrant, resilient urban culture that shines brightly through the longest and darkest of winters. We journey now to the west coast of Greenland, to the town of Iqaluit, which sits beside a fjord choked with monumental icebergs. Here, the midnight sun has a unique canvas on which to paint. From late May to late July, the sun never sets, and its continuous light interacts with the ice in spectacular fashion. The light is crystalline, sharp, and seems to make the air itself glitter. Throughout the day, the colors of the icebergs shift constantly, from brilliant white and electric blue under the high sun to shades of pink, orange, and deep red as the sun grazes the horizon. It's an unforgettable, ever-changing spectacle of light and ice. The winter brings a profound darkness, with the polar night lasting from early December to mid-January. Life in Iqaluit slows down and turns inward. The community gathers for kafemik, traditional social gatherings with coffee and cake, sharing stories and strengthening bonds in the cozy warmth of their colorful homes. Outside, the world is hushed and still. The immense icebergs in the fjord become ghostly silhouettes against the star-filled sky. The darkness is not an absence but a presence, a deep silent peace that blankets the land, broken only by the crack and groan of the ancient ice and the occasional wondrous appearance of the aurora. For our final destination, we travel to the opposite end of the Earth, to the most remote and inhospitable place of all, the Antarctic Peninsula. Here, the seasons are reversed. During the austral summer, from November to February, the sun does not set. The light has a unique, almost clinical clarity, unfiltered by pollution or vegetation. It reveals the continent's raw and breathtaking beauty, the towering ice cliffs, the pristine snowfields, and the deep turquoise crevasses. This constant daylight fuels a frantic burst of life. Penguin colonies are abuzz with activity, and whales flock to the nutrient-rich waters for a feeding frenzy. When the Earth tilts away, Antarctica is plunged into an otherworldly darkness. The austral winter is a time of extreme cold and isolation. The sun disappears for months, and the continent is left to the wind and the stars. The darkness is more complete, more absolute than almost anywhere else on the planet. For the few scientists who overwinter here, it is an experience of profound solitude. The sky, free from light pollution, offers an unparalleled view of the Milky Way and the southern lights, the aurora australis. It's a stark and humbling reminder of our planet's place in the vast dark cosmos. Our journey through the lands of the endless day and the eternal night comes to a close. We have witnessed the sun's refusal to set over Norwegian fjords and Greenlandic icebergs, and we have felt the profound stillness of the polar night in the heart of the Arctic and the desolate beauty of Antarctica. These places, governed by a different celestial clock, reveal the extraordinary adaptability of life. From the vibrant cultures that have learned to thrive in these extremes, to the wildlife whose very survival depends on these dramatic seasonal shifts, the story is one of remarkable resilience. These phenomena are not mere curiosities. They are a fundamental expression of our planet's character. They remind us that our familiar cycle of day and night is just one of many rhythms that exist on Earth. The tilt of our world's axis, a simple quirk of celestial mechanics, creates these breathtakingly different realities, painting the top and bottom of our globe with palettes of light and shadow that are almost beyond our everyday comprehension. It shows us how deeply interconnected all life is with the grand, silent movements of our solar system. To stand under a sun that never sets, or to gaze into a sky during a day with no dawn, is to connect with the planet in a truly profound way. It is to understand, viscerally, that we are inhabitants of a dynamic, ever-changing sphere traveling through space. These places challenge our perception of time and inspire a deep sense of wonder at the intricate and beautiful systems that govern our world. They are treasures of our planet, reminding us of the incredible diversity and astonishing beauty that can be found in the most extreme of its expressions.